think you should be.
Hi, it's Julie from Vitamize. So I want to go over how to identify upper cross posture. So I've talked about it in a couple other videos. So I have my lovely assistant here, George, who's going to help me show you how to identify upper cross posture and if you have it or not. Okay? So the first thing you do is you need 2 pens, just easier to help you identify. So hold on these pens. So George, I need you to take a deep breath. Inhale. And then exhale. Good. Inhale again. And exhale. Okay? So notice where the pens are pointing, okay? So ideal posture is that the pen should be pointing straight at you and not going in. So what this basically means is that he has internal rotation of the humerus. What that basically means is that his shoulders actually sit forward slightly. So he actually has a very tight chest. So he's very tight in here. All the muscles in here are pulling the shoulders forward. So you can tell that he can pull it back if he has a little bit more posture muscles. So he's a little bit tight in the QL area and the thoracic area. So he's a little bit weaker here, but he's too tight here. Okay, so upper cross posture, what is it? It basically means that you have a tight trap. This is a tight upper back and a tight chest. Everything lays as an X, okay? So the important thing to understand with your body is that when you're training, the opposite shoulder and the opposite hip actually work together. So if you have pain in your left hip, it might be coming from your right shoulder, believe it or not. So there's, depending on, you have to take a look at both to make sure to find out what's really going on, okay? So that's just the first test we take a look at. And then the second one we do is called a karate chop. So go ahead and turn your side, George. And what you can do here is I can use, so I like to, basically what you can do is you take your hand right in the middle of the shoulder and you bring your hand right up. His ear should be where my fingers are. So if you can see where my fingers are, or if I take the pen right here, that is where his ear should be right here, okay? So basically he has what's called forward head protrusion, so that's why he has a little bump right here, because he sits with his head. So if I ask him, I already know what he does for a living, but if you ask him what he does for a living, what do you do for a living, George?
Finance manager.
So he sits at a desk, basically, all day long. So this is desk posture. So it's very much that forward rounding of that upper back, the head's forward because you're staring at a computer all day. Okay, so the whole thing is that you want to make sure that when he's sitting there, we have to work on trying to get his posture back. So what does this mean? It basically means his neck. So I talked about upper cross, but was tight, so his upper back and his chest were tight. So what's weak are his neck and his lats, basically, are a little bit too weak. So what he has to do is we have to work on loosening these 2 things up first, and then we have to work on strengthening his neck and his back posture muscles. Okay? And then the last one, just to confirm everything that's going on, is you're going to go ahead and walk for me, George. So what I want you to do is pay attention to his arm swing. So if you look at his arm swing as he swings, does he swing from the shoulder or from the elbow, or does he swing at all? So a lot of people with shoulder pain, they will actually just walk straight, and you'll see it's very, very stiff. You notice that George has a little bit of swing on, so he basically swings from his elbows. So you can tell, again, that tells you that he has a lot of tightness going on in his shoulders and his chest. So he is an avid weightlifter, so the whole thing is that he needs to work on a few other things instead of working on his chest all the time, like a typical guy thing. But there are things that we can do to help him improve that posture. So if this is something that you have, we can I can do more videos to explore that and help you teach you how to alleviate these issues, and we can go from there. So if you need to contact me, please don't hesitate. Otherwise, have a wonderful day.